What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Super exciting video today, at least for me, because we're finally installing the Banks Power Monster Ram intake horn that I bought for this truck like literally over a year ago at this point. I know it's not crazy exciting or anything like that anymore because like everybody and their mother literally has one of these things, but like this is new to me. I bought it like a long time ago to put on this truck, never put it on this truck, never had time to put on this truck. Almost just paid someone to put it on the truck for me just because of, due lack of time, if you will. However, going to a friend's house whose my truck actually fits in his garage, and he has a topside creeper and stuff like that, and we're going to try to obviously just do it ourselves and, see how this goes because, man, shops want to quote like a G to install this on this truck, and this truck is fully deleted, so there's no emissions or EGR stuff to have to worry about, so it should make the process a little bit easier, but it's something we're going to find out. So if you are somehow not aware of what this thing is, shing. All right, engine bay of the Cummins. It's basically this right here. This is the stock intake horn on the truck. It gets clogged up. It's very small. The biggest issue with this is it's a lack of airflow, and then of course like the cylinder problem where the bolt could kind of fall through and hit cylinder 6 and kind of ruin your engine. So like all that stuff's kind of an issue. So we're literally replacing this part here with this beautiful box here from Gail Banks at Banks Power. So I did open this once before. Instructions, of course. Yeah, bam, there we are. I did buy the red one. I thought about buying the one that was not painted and having powder coated. However, this is kind of roughly the same color, right? So the whole idea here, like I said, if you don't know for some reason, this is going to replace that and, open up some air, hopefully, help some turbo lag. The biggest thing is to, get rid of that grid heater and also get rid of that potential failure point where the bolt there drops down into cylinder number 6 and, causes an issue. So either way, like I said, this is not like a full installation video by any means. I'm doing this for the first time myself. My friend who's helping me is doing this for the first time himself. So the biggest thing is going to be just the after results. And I'm going to kind of come back on here and let you know what I think about it since installing, if you will. So, I've been driving this truck for 62,000 miles now the way it sets. And, bought this like a 20,000 miles or so ago. And excited to finally get it on and then basically give you my reactions to having it on. Do you hear the turbo more? How is the throttle response? How is it towing? Does it make a difference? How does it start in the cold? Because I am in Pennsylvania, so I am in a cold climate area, and so on and so forth. So stay tuned. All right, guys, the Banks kit is finally on this truck like a year and a half later. Thank you to Thank you to Dylan for helping me and letting me use your garage. And honestly, you kind of did the whole job, and I kind of just watched there and was emotional support. So thank you. I appreciate that. Either way, man, I will say I haven't driven this truck much, maybe 50 miles since installing this. And two things off the bat, extremely noticeable. One, throttle response. Throttle response is now insane how quick it is, like once you hit it. And then number two is going to be just turbo spool. I mean, it spools the turbo way faster than it ever did. And all the other stuff is probably placebo, like, you know, like sound with the engine brake and stuff. Like, that's probably neither here nor there. I have no clue on fuel mileage because, like I said, I drove this thing maybe 50 miles. But throttle response, impressive. And then the turbo spool up, also impressive. It just builds boost so fast now, which is nice. So at the end of the day, you may have seen it in the clips. My grid heater and stuff like that was not very, it wasn't very gunked up at all. So it might have something to do with the fact that I deleted this truck at 8,000 miles, but like realistically, there's nothing there. The heater's actually pretty clean. My bolt wasn't falling off anywhere. I mean, there was nothing wrong with this setup on the truck. I mean, like I said, the truck now has 62,000 miles on it. I deleted the truck at 8,000 miles, so I have been emissions exempt. But this is actually pretty clean. I'm actually very surprised on that. You see a lot of videos where people are literally like scraping the soot out of these. But honestly, I'm happy to report I haven't, you know, had any issues with it. And then I wish I could use this plate. This plate would actually look pretty cool on the truck. However, this goes on like the EGR stuff. So the intake looks awesome. If I'm not mistaken, like whenever you put all the EGR crap back on, this like sits up top, and like it'd be dumb just to kind of have that sitting there right now. But oh yeah, by the way, don't mind any of that stuff. But it looks really good. Install was super clean. Honestly, so for two people who have never actually done this before, I'll be honest, it took us roughly, I don't know, I'd say 6, maybe 7 hours total. And to be honest with you, if we were to do it again right now, which we're going to be doing it on his truck because he bought one as well, I bet you 4 hours the whole job's done. 100%. The hardest part of this job was undoing all the clips underneath the hood. Those clips were awful just to get undone and everything like that. They never, it was just bad to get the clips off. It's all the clips on the wiring harness is what it is. It was just hard. Every clip had like a different weird way to get it undone and everything. So it took a while to get that wiring harness off is what I'm trying to say there. And then the fuel rail number 6 was also kind of a pain. We actually cut a wrench a lot smaller so that way you could actually turn it back there. But happy to report that, you know, I mean, like I said, I got maybe 50 miles on the truck now. There's no boost leaks, there's no check engine lights, there's no nothing. So, you know, we did a pretty good job with it. When I say we, he pretty much did a pretty good job with it. But yeah, I mean, I bet you it took us a cumulative of maybe 6-7 hours total. But if we had to do it again right now, I bet you 4 hours. We know how to get all those clips undone. We have the secret sauce for that injector fuel rail line number 6. It turned out good, man. We're super happy with it. Well, I'm super happy with it. You know, hopefully it just kind of helps the truck breathe a little bit better. I assume it does, and that's what it claims to do. Either that or Banks is a really good salesperson. So that's it, man. And plus, it makes the engine bay look a little bit nicer as well. So it gives it a little bit of zazz, if you will. So, yeah, that's about it, man. You know, when I get some more time with it, I'm super excited to tow with it. So I wouldn't mind loading up one of the trailers with some weight and towing just to see like how it performs while towing. However, normal daily driving, like I said, throttle response is impeccable. And then it definitely builds boost a lot quicker, which is nice. So either way, thank you, Dylan, for helping. And have any questions, guys, feel free to DM me, not a big deal. And like the video if you haven't, subscribe, join the channel, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.